Hello everyone, and welcome back to another thrilling recap. Today we will recap the movie Mission: Impossible – Dead Reckoning. Spoilers ahead. Beneath the ocean's surface, the Russian Federation's submarine K-599 Sebastopol is conducting experiments with its recently developed lethal technology, which also imparts stealth capabilities. During the experiment, the crew detected an opposing submarine that launched torpedoes towards them. The Sebastopol's captain ordered his crew to counter the threat, but their efforts were unsuccessful. Anticipating impact, they waited for the enemy torpedoes, only to find that they suddenly vanished. Concluding that a system bug may have been the cause, the Sebastopol's captain instructed his crew to deactivate their torpedoes. However, the torpedoes remained unresponsive and tragically struck their own submarine, resulting in the loss of all on board. In a dimly lit warehouse, a man cautiously navigated, searching for someone. Ethan Hunt emerged from the shadows, and the man departed after delivering a package containing crucial information for Ethan's upcoming mission. Ethan's objective involves obtaining a key, with the specific purpose undisclosed due to its confidential nature. He was also briefed about Ilsa Faust, a friend who now carries a $50 million bounty on her head. It was mentioned that Ilsa possessed one half of the key, and Ethan was tasked with obtaining it from her. Ethan journeyed to the Arabian desert and followed the bounty hunters to a secluded town in the desert's heart. Concealed within this small town was Ilsa, who spotted Ethan through her binoculars. When the bounty hunters detected Ethan, he led them into a sandstorm, engaging in combat with their assistants. Ilsa, positioned as a sniper, aided in eliminating the threats. Upon the discovery of Ilsa's location by the bounty hunters, she left her post. When Ethan arrived, he found Ilsa unconscious on the ground. Surprisingly, upon Ethan's approach, Ilsa attacked him. Subduing Ilsa, Ethan reassured her of his identity, and she calmed down, embracing him. Ethan retrieved the key from Ilsa, advising her to keep a low profile. To mislead the other hunters, Ethan set ablaze the body of a deceased bounty hunter, making it appear as though Ilsa had perished. Meanwhile, in Washington, an intelligence community meeting unfolded. Various intelligence agency officials, including Eugene Kittredge, the former IMF director, convened at the meeting. They discussed an experimental artificial intelligence known as the Entity, believed to have developed a mind of its own. Originally designed to infiltrate and dismantle digital systems, the Entity had grown uncontrollable. It destroyed digital information upon contact before completely disappearing, indicating its newfound sentience. Kittredge then informed the group about a key believed to control and deactivate the Entity. He referenced Ilsa, assumed dead by the bounty hunters, and a man with the key who was unwilling to cooperate. In the midst of the discussion, Kittredge's assistant handed him a gas mask and deployed a smoke bomb, rendering everyone unconscious except Kittredge and himself. The assistant, revealing himself as Ethan, had infiltrated the meeting. Kittredge disclosed that he orchestrated the bounty on Ilsa's head, trusting that Ethan, known to Ilsa, would acquire the key willingly. Ethan displayed the key to Kittredge, suggesting mission success, but withholding the key. Ethan doubted anyone, including the government, could control the Entity, deciding to destroy it personally. A phone rang, prompting Ethan to don a hyper-realistic mask resembling Kittredge. While Kittredge was occupied with a phone call, Ethan seized the opportunity to make him lose consciousness and escape. Accompanied by his teammates, Benji Dunn and Luther Stickel, they head to Abu Dhabi International Airport to locate the possessor of the other half of the key. Evading pursuit from intelligence agents, Ethan followed the man with the key. A woman, identified as Grace, collided with the man and discreetly stole the key. Ethan shifted his focus to Grace, and Benji observed baggage containing a nuclear explosive destined for Ethan's plane. Benji left to defuse the bomb, while Luther stayed behind to guide both Ethan and Benji. Identifying Grace as a skilled pickpocket, Ethan intentionally bumped into her and persuaded her to collaborate. They proceeded to meet the man Grace was supposed to rendezvous with. As Benji underwent psychometric tests to defuse the supposed bomb, An unidentified woman assassinated the man Grace was meeting. Ethan and Grace arrived to find the man seemingly unharmed. Discovering the man was already dead, Ethan quickly pulled Grace away. Luther informed Ethan about the bomb, and as Ethan conversed with Luther, Benji successfully defused the bomb, only to realize it was empty. Ethan then realized that Grace had cunningly stolen the key unnoticed. Intent on pursuing her, Ethan encountered a phantom man and, unsettled, aborted the mission, instructing his team to leave immediately. While Ethan pursued Grace alone, she traveled to Rome, where authorities apprehended her based on a call describing her as a criminal. In an office, Grace discovered that it was Ethan who had reported her to the police to facilitate their meeting. Ethan offered to secure her release in exchange for information. Grace confessed that she had been ordered to steal a half of the key Ethan possessed and deliver it to Venice. Community agents arrived to apprehend Ethan, prompting a swift escape with Grace. Upon entering a crowded room, Grace falsely accused Ethan of being a persistent stalker, rallying bystanders to prevent him from approaching. Using a police car for her getaway, Grace was pursued by Ethan on a motorcycle. However, her escape was interrupted when she collided with another car, which belonged to Paris, also pursuing them under the orders of a man named Gabriel. Ethan intervened against Paris's guards, but they were ultimately cornered, facing the imminent arrival of police and community agents. In a tense standoff, Ethan and Grace were directed to put on handcuffs, binding them together. Exploiting the chaos, they escaped using another stolen car, sparking a pursuit involving Paris, community agents, and the police. After losing their pursuers, they abandoned the vehicle and, with Ethan's phone, procured a new car. The chase resumed until Ethan and Grace successfully evaded everyone. Driving into a subway on the tracks, Grace managed to free herself from the cuff and restrained Ethan to the steering. Ethan liberated himself just in time, breaking free and leaping to safety as a train collided with the car. Exiting the subway, Ethan rejoined his team and Ilsa, all committed to assisting him in acquiring the key and neutralizing the entity. In a meeting, they discovered that Grace would be present at a midnight gala hosted by Alana Mitsopoulos. The team also deliberated on Gabriel, another individual pursuing the key. Luther presented Ethan with camera footage from the Abu Dhabi airport, revealing Gabriel seemingly protected by the entity. At the gala, Grace encountered Gabriel, with Paris surveilling from a distance. Gabriel attempted to sway Grace's allegiance. As Ethan and Ilsa infiltrated the party and approached them, Paris loomed threateningly. Alana, accompanied by her guards, joined the scene, and Grace realized that Alana was the one who hired her for the key retrieval. When Alana requested the key, Grace discreetly placed it on a guard's coat during a distraction created by Ethan. Alana escorted them to a VIP area, where Ethan discovered that Alana possessed the other half of the key and had aligned with Gabriel, who knew how to unlock the entity. Gabriel revealed that he had been promised the complete set of keys in exchange for someone's life, intending to kill either Grace or Ilsa. Ethan deduced that the entity was manipulating Gabriel out of fear, understanding that Ethan was close to its destruction. Ethan attempted to persuade Alana to help him complete the key, with Gabriel making a similar plea. Gabriel warned Alana of the entity's threat, emphasizing that helping Ethan would lead to her demise. Ethan countered, arguing that everyone would die regardless if she assisted Gabriel. Alana ultimately sided with Gabriel, who departed in triumph. Despite Ethan's subsequent efforts to convince her, Alana remained unyielding. Ethan engaged in a fight against the guards, while Ilsa pursued Gabriel, and Grace feigned escape. Grace skillfully stole the key from the guard, confusing him with her agile maneuvers. Ethan incapacitated the guard, and Grace managed to escape. Ethan, with Benji as his guide, pursued Grace, unaware that the guiding Benji was actually the entity impersonating him. The real Benji attempted to warn Ethan, but the entity prevented the message from reaching him. Benji took it upon himself to find Ethan. Ethan realized the misdirection when the entity falsely claimed that Grace had reached the bridge where Gabriel awaited. Unable to reach the bridge in time, the entity suggested Ilsa could, Meanwhile, Ethan confronted Paris and another of Gabriel's men, defeating them in combat. Grace engaged in a confrontation with Gabriel, but Ilsa, armed with a sword, proved futile in her attempts. Gabriel fatally stabbed Ilsa, and Ethan arrived too late at their hideout, devastated by the loss. Luther provided comfort to Grace, who felt responsible for Ilsa's death. Ethan and Benji joined them, proposing that Grace become a ghost and leave to avoid further trouble, possibly imprisonment or death. They briefed Grace on the upcoming plan and left the decision of staying or leaving after its execution to her. As they prepared for the plan, Luther informed Ethan that the entity feared him because, unlike others who sought control, Ethan was determined to destroy it. Luther cautioned Ethan against confronting Gabriel after obtaining the other half of the key from Alana, emphasizing that regardless of the outcome, whether Ethan dies or kills Gabriel, the entity would still prevail. It was crucial for Ethan to exit the train alive and on time. A setback occurred when the device for creating hyper-realistic masks malfunctioned during the preparation of the guard's disguise. To proceed, Grace would impersonate Alana and board the train alone, while Ethan sought an alternative means of entry. The plan unfolded on the train, where Alana was set to meet the buyer for the complete key. Grace incapacitated the real Alana, assuming her identity and meeting Kittredge, the buyer. Meanwhile, Gabriel and Paris met with Denlinger, who proposed an alliance with the entity. Denlinger disclosed that an earlier version of the entity caused the destruction of Sebastopol, and he believed the early version remained on the submarine's computer hard drive. Accessing it with the complete key would grant control or the ability to destroy the entity. Despite offering the location of Sebastopol, Gabriel killed Denlinger, as he already possessed the necessary information. Gabriel also attempted to eliminate Paris, anticipating her betrayal and knowledge shared with Ethan. Paris fought back, but Gabriel ultimately impaled her with a knife. Grace handed the key to Kittredge, who combined the halves and initiated decryption. Simultaneously, Alana regained consciousness and left the room. Upon completing the decryption, Grace feigned generosity, appearing to give the key to Kittredge for free. While shaking Kittredge's hand, she covertly stole the complete key from his pocket and departed. The real Alana emerged, revealing the previous Alana as an imposter who had stolen the key. They pursued Grace, who discarded her disguise and intended to eliminate her once the key was recovered. In a timely intervention, Ethan burst in through the window, rescuing Grace from the pursuers. Unfortunately, Gabriel seized the key during the chaos. Chasing Gabriel, Ethan engaged in a fight atop the moving train. Before Ethan could defeat Gabriel, community agents arrived, prompting Gabriel to let himself fall from the train onto a truck below. Ethan persuaded Jasper, the leader of the community agents, to prioritize saving the passengers since Gabriel had planted a bomb under the upcoming bridge. Ethan reunited with Grace, revealing the key he had stolen from Gabriel. As Gabriel made his escape, a bomb on the bridge detonated, leading to a struggle for survival as the train dangled precariously. Facing the challenge of pulling Grace to safety, Ethan received unexpected help from Paris, who came to their rescue. As the train teetered on the brink of falling, Ethan showed Paris the key, signaling success in retrieving it. In her final moments before losing consciousness, Paris shared crucial information about Sebastopol with Ethan. When Jasper arrived to apprehend Ethan, Grace encouraged him to leave while she stayed behind due to the limited parachute capacity. With only one parachute, Ethan jumped off the train. Jasper checked Paris's pulse, relieved to find she was still alive. Kittredge appeared and assisted Grace, who was sitting on the floor. Despite a brief confrontation with Jasper, Grace informed Kittredge that Ethan had entrusted her to trust him. Meanwhile, Ethan landed and met with Benji, showing him the key. Together, they departed to pursue the entity. The movie ends here, and we are left to know rest of the story in upcoming part 2 of the movie. What was your favorite action sequence or plot twist in the movie? Comment down below and make sure to subscribe. See you in the next one.